I'm Liam. I've been at Loughborough University for 4.5 years, which is just enough time to figure out how to spell it. Just wanted to give you a brief heads up. I don't mention the word customer too much, and that's come up in a couple of presentations this morning, and that's because in higher ed we tend to avoid the word. It's a little bit of a no-go. We tend to use students or communities, so if you do hear those words, rest assured they do kind of translate over to customer quite well. So with that aside, a lot has changed in 4.5 years on social. If anyone else has responsibility for managing social media, hope you agree with that as well. Nowadays, with everything we do, we need to be more we need to be smarter, we need to be more creative, we need to be more strategic about what we do. So I'm sure you've seen, like I have, kind of organic reach's power decrease over the past 12, 18 months. And at the start of 2018, Mr. Zuckerberg posted this on Facebook. And I think once we had a period of time where we got our heads around what this idea of meaningful social interactions meant, this was probably the offices of a lot of social media managers. You know, we realized that we had to evolve the way we were using social media or pay the price, literally pay the price. But luckily for us, Loughborough is in a really good spot for this because for us it's creativity rather than the cash that fuels our work. So we see huge drops in engagement when we use social as a one-way shouty megaphone. You know, we might be trying to tell people about our lofty, great academic research. The day-to-day person, they're not bothered about that. They want to know about how it relates to them. So instead we're using different tactics where we can, like using Facebook groups, events, and inviting debate and discussions as part of our comments. So for me, it's really about these three words. As some of the ways that we've introduced new strategies into our campaign planning. So whenever we're kind of going through the campaign planning process, these elements are always covered in discussions that I'm bringing to the table about social before we, you know, think about the nitty-gritty, the tactics that we're going to use. So for the next couple of minutes, I'd just like to show you a few examples of how we're using each of these at Loughborough. And I'll start with this idea of advocacy. So for me, using our communities as advocates for our brands is one of the most essential tools to combat the decline of organic reach. And as a university, we're really lucky. We're in a really great spot to do that. You know, we have our students, alumni, businesses. For Loughborough, we have sporting bodies and employees as well, our staff. So we actually did a piece of work around this idea of the Loughborough family, which you'll hear me talk about a little bit more today, to really map out these stakeholders. You know, who are these people that we're talking to? Why are we engaging with them? How do they fit in? And we've worked this idea of the Loughborough family into almost everything we've done since 2015. It builds a sense of pride, a sense of belonging in a digital space, as well as the physical space of our campus. If you've ever been to Loughborough's campus, you may not have been. We're just east of Birmingham, north of Leicester, south of Nottingham. We're kind of in the middle. We're a really small, close-knit community campus. We have a great feel to us. So we've really tried to emulate that in a digital space with this idea of the Loughborough family as well. And it empowers people to engage with us wherever they are in the world with just a simple hashtag. So Loughborough performs extremely well in league tables relating to student experience and ranking, where satisfaction and student reviews really make the difference. We're currently 4th in the UK in one of the league tables, which is obviously a really amazing message that we want our communities to know about. So we make these kind of visual, shareable assets that we use on social media. And as you can see on the right there, our community absolutely loves an opportunity for a bit of a humble brag. I love seeing comments like these. Our students are absolutely roasting their friends that go to other universities. Becca says there, the day has come where Loughborough is above Durham. Chris, who calls Birmingham a chip shop uni. Bit harsh. Many of these statements, I have the utmost respect for other universities. But of course, all of this activity is great for us. It boosts the power and attractiveness of our posts for Facebook's algorithms. It gets our name and our achievements into news feeds and areas where we would never be able to reach on our own. So this is a really vital part of what we do. Moving on now a little bit to authenticity, I feel like this might be my personal marketing buzzword from the past year or so. To sum this up really, really simply, our students don't want to hear from our marketing team anymore. They'd rather hear from someone like them who's proud, positive, and passionate about the institution that they study at. And this is probably the same for many of your customers too. Unless you're the social media team behind Innocent or maybe giffgaff, an equally kind of amazing brand on social, your customers probably don't want to hear from you. And we can see the kind of trend, this growth of influencer marketing over the years. I love a good Google trend graph. They're really basic, but it does show this real trend. Customers, brands, figuring out the power of using ambassadors, niche ambassadors in some cases, authentic tone of voice to sell their products or sell their information to people. And UCAS as well. A recent UCAS survey showed that 92% of students said reviews were an important choice, an important tactic for students making their firm choice. So what we did, we've started hosting external students' reviews on our website. We were inspired by places like TripAdvisor. People want to get a genuine feel and other people's opinions on what their experiences are like. Whenever you book a hotel, you're looking at, go straight to the 1 stars, or someone had a bad experience about that, I'm not sure if we should do that. You do it with restaurants, bars, whatever it is. And it's the same with universities. They want to know what other people have thought about their experiences at university. And it's a risky business. We have no control of the reviews that go on this page. We can't remove things. It's all there, clear as day, for everyone to see. But we know our students on the whole have such a good experience at Loughborough, and our stats show actually that visitors are spending up to 25% more time on this page compared to any other page on the undergraduate prospectus for last year. So that's really great for us. That's showing us, it's a good thing for us that people are reading these and enjoying them and digesting them. Of course, our teenage audience, the youth audiences, are using different social media channels these days to communicate, away from the parent, aunt, grandparent infested waters of Facebook to Instagram, Snapchat. And this is great for me and my team because these are really visual channels that allow us to do loads and really give a visual insight of what being a student at Loughborough is all about. And often the content that we show on these channels is created by our students themselves. So our channels have featured these takeovers, as we call them, from places like New York, the Arctic Circle, and of course the beautiful exotic destination of Loughborough. They're usually not these kind of polished, like beautiful storyboarded pieces of content, but they're rough, ready captures of what student life and what experiences are like. And they shape up really nicely to kind of tap through nature of stories. People are always tapping through, scrolling through. They're not hanging around. They want to see nice, interesting, visual, first-person experiences. And we also do these in-story Q&As using the tools available through Instagram. And we found this to be consistently one of the ways that students engage with us the most. So drop in this little sticker into the midst of one of our open day stories, received 50 questions just like that. And it's really a win-win because we can then take those questions. Instagram gives us the functionality to then take those questions and answer them in that space as well. So we go on to create more content from that. Definitely an excellent way to engage with students, we've found. So I'd really urge you to think about, how can your campaigns, your content be driven by the content generated by your audiences. And finally, personalization. Such a powerful thing that makes your customers really feel like they're connected to your brand. At Loughborough, we know how difficult it is to work this into our campaigns. It's more time-consuming across the board, just more difficult. But we've done it every year since 2016, at least once, some years twice. So on A-Level Results Day morning in August, our new students, they've just found out they're going to Loughborough University. They're super excited. They're absolutely buzzing. And they receive something through the door from us on that morning, on the day. It's personalised. It's printed, which I know is old school, but it's something that they can hold, it's something that they can open, it's tangible, they can share it. And behind all of that stuff is something, digital activity on social, on the web, to then kind of introduce them to life at Loughborough for the first time, ready to get them into this idea of the Loughborough family. So in 2016, we sent them these shiny golden tickets with their names on. In 2017, we sent them these frames along with these stickers so they could kind of customize them, personalize them however they wanted to do. And last year, they received these music festival-inspired lanyards full of useful information about Loughborough, and it's worth saying these all had their actual names on it, all personalised, which we also got made for some of our team's pets too, because everyone loves some animal content. We do have some amazing pets at our disposal to be able to create content with, so that is an actual real owl called Winston, and Phil the chameleon there, and Brew the collie. Lovely, lovely, everyone loves animals. But in 2017, we really took it to the next level. So before students sit their A-level exams, they're worried, they're stressed. It's a hugely high-pressured time for these guys. So we trawled through over 5,000 students' UCAS applications, statements, pulled out something interesting or personal to each one of those students, wrote up a statement, got these cards created, hand wrote the statements into the cards with their names, and suggested something that they might want to pick up when they come to Loughborough to, whether it's a sport club, a society, something that they can really look forward to, something that tells them that we're on their side, we're looking forward to seeing them, and we hope that they do well in their exams so they can come and join us. So it took 215 hours to write the cards and countless more to organise the project, read through all the statements, but the payoff was an extremely motivated, excited group of students who had their first taste of their unique Loughborough experience. So we'd put Loughborough at the forefront of people's minds. Against our competitors, we were there early doors. And as you can see from a few of these screenshots, they came to thank us personally on social media. They came to brag to their friends that their university had sent them something, and nobody else had got anything. So we were there to capture all that activity and engage with that in a digital space too. So yeah, I hope you can take those three kind of key elements for me, maybe apply 1, 2, or 3 of them to your future campaigns. And thank you very much for listening. I think I've beaten the fire alarm, so that's good. Cheers.
Thank you, Liam. That was fantastic. Any questions for Liam before we break for coffee? Oh, one from Lisa at the front here. Got a microphone at the back. Just bear with us, it's on the way.
When you're doing content run by the students or student influencers, how do you mitigate the risk of them potentially going off-brand?
Sure, good question. So we have a group of ambassadors that we employ to do all sorts of stuff across the piece. So they're at visit days, they're at, they're face-to-face with 16, 15-year-old kids kind of selling the Loughborough experience for us. So we kind of dip into that pool. It's like a 90 to 100 strong pool of students who have had training, they know what they're saying, they know the rules, they're kind of signed up to a contract. So, but we have done things with other students outside of that pool, and I think the thing is just about making the ground rules very, very clear. The people who want to get involved with us kind of have that level of they know kind of what they're doing. We kind of meet them and speak with them before to double check things. So, yeah.